Yeah, so guys, today we're talking support and resistance. So by the end of this video, I believe you are going to understand what support and resistance is, and how to find the origins of each support and each resistance, because people tend to just go on any time frame and um, get their support and resistance. I'm not saying it's wrong, but to simplify it for yourself, especially as a beginner, you have to individualize them. What I mean by individualizing them is know the origin of the level that is the support or the resistance. So know the origin, on what time frame it forms originally, because a level that forms on the daily time frame, if you go to the 1 hour time frame, is still there but is bigger. But if you don't know it formed on the daily time frame, you assume this is a 1 hour time frame level. So because people assign individualize fair value gaps and other blocks and the like, so why not individualize the support and resistance levels also? So let me explain what I mean. Now we have this level here. This is on the weekly time frame, guys. So we have this level here. This is USD JPY. We have this level here. What we clearly have here is just 3 candles that have, bullish and bearish candle. That's all we see. But let's go to the lower time frames and we'll find out something. So on the lower time frame, this is the 4 hour time frame. On the lower time frame, now we see how clear this level is here. We see how clear it is. So you might just be on the 4 hour time frame. I'm saying, okay, this is a 4 hour resistance level, so let's trade from here, forgetting that this originally has formed on the 1 week time frame, or on the weekly time frame as you might have it. So knowing the origin is as important as knowing where you are. So let's go back to the weekly time frame. So how do we know that the origin of this so how do we know that the origin of this is on the weekly time frame? It's simple. If we go 1 time frame higher, in this case the monthly, if we go to the monthly, notice this level is non-existent here. It is not here. So which means this level is non-existent on the monthly time frame. So the original formation of this level is on the weekly time frame. Let me repeat. We came to the monthly time frame here. We saw a resistance on the weekly time frame, but we came to the monthly and it's just a candle. So that's how you know the source or the origin of every level, be it support, be it resistance. So what you do now is to get the exact price of the level, because support and resistance has 2 layers, I believe. That's how I see it. They have 2 layers, which is the close and open price of the 2 major candles that formed that level. So in this case, it is this bullish candle and this bearish candle, because if it was just this bullish candle going up, there will not be a level here. So but since this bearish candle formed, it has given us a level that price could get to and push back down. So how do we get this price? So you simply put your cursor on the candle and look for, if it's a bullish candle, in this case you look for the closing price. So the closing price in this, just keep looking at this point, guys. When my cursor is here, just look at this point, so you will get the closing price of that candle. The closing price of that candle is 157,703. So here now, this is supposed to have the opening price of this is supposed to be the same with the closing price of this, but in this situation you can see that the opening price of this is 157,675. So in this case, how do we get the first layer of the resistance level? How we get it is we switch to the line chart. So when we switch to the line chart, we can see now this is the highest point of that level, which is 157,703. Remember, this is the closing price of that bullish candle, but just to be sure, you have to switch to the line chart. So when we get this level, now we know where our level is. Why I said these levels have two layers is because price could get here, and reverse without getting to the very top before reversing. So price could get here and start going down. So that's the first layer. The second layer is the highest point. So most times this first layer is what will help you know if a resistance level is going to hold or a support, depending on the direction of the market. So once this level here is broken, sometimes the market will break above this level but not above this one. So most times when the market breaks above this, like it did here, okay, there's a very good example here. This is the top of this resistance here. Now this is the starting level. This is the first layer, if you may say. So how do we know this is the first layer? Switch to the line chart and get the exact price. So it's 156,328. That's the exact price of the first layer of this resistance. 156,328. So you can see that the market closed above this but did not close above this high. So in this case now, we are most likely to take this high also, because this is like the iron gate of this level. If this place is broken, you can see the market came here the first time, touched and rejected, shows strong bearish presence here. So it came here and dropped. Then this one came and closed above it, which is why I'm currently on a trade on USD/JPY. I'm on the buy trade, targeting these points here. So had it been this point wasn't here, I'll be targeting here, because we have closed above this first gate here. I call it the gate so it will be more relatable. This first gate, the entrance gate, if we are able to break above it, then we can enter inside and take this high. But since this one has also formed here, that's why I'm taking my profits here. So what I'm basically saying is, knowing the origin of these levels, then you can align your time frame. Because if you go to the 4-hour and start saying this is the 4-hour resistance level, and you are now taking the 4-hour, now it might work for some people, but I'm speaking personally for my concept. This is how I do it. If I come to the weekly, then I get this level, even if it's just 2 candles, just this 1-2 candles. Let's assume this market got to this point. At this point I'm making this video, this market has got to here. This will still be my resistance, these 2 candles. That's how I take it. Then I start aligning my time frames from the weekly to the daily to the 4-hour to the 1 hour to the 15 minutes to the 5 minutes and so on and so forth. So it's exactly the same for the other way around for support. As you can see, let's take this here. So where would we say is the first layer of this support now? Because this is up here, the close of this is up here, and the open of this is down here. So what do we do? If you remember, guys, you switch to the line chart. Now when we switch to the line chart, we'll get the exact level, 155,337. So 155,337 is where the first layer of this support is. So when you get the first layer of this support, then if the price closes below, let's assume this price closed below this level here, bearish, then it is more likely to take this low. That's just it. It is more likely to take this low. Now you have to align it with your concept or how you trade. So let's see how strong these levels are. Now this candle formed. These 2 candles are the origin, which are on the weekly. These 2 candles form this support level here. So these candles forming this support level, the next week, this one opened, traded into this zone. You can see the market got into this first gate, the entrance of that support level, but didn't get to this low. So, and it rejected. This is to show you how strong it is. I know there are other things in conjunction with this, but just let's focus on the support level. It rejected off this level, it didn't get to this point. Remember, see where it's reacting from this point, and it did not close below. If it had closed below this point, we will be look. If it had closed below this entrance, this gate, then we would have been looking for a way to sell it down to this level, but it did not. It, in fact, it showed a lot of bullish presence here in this support level. So basically what it means is, once you know the origins of your levels, so that you can align your time frames properly. So this is one of my concepts that I use. This is how, you can call it support and resistance, you can call it highs and lows, but I personally call it highs and lows, and this is how I get my levels, and this is how I individualize them, apportion them to a particular time frame, so I will know where I'm trading them from. Because being on a weekly level and assuming you're on a 4-hour level because you're seeing it on the 4-hour, it might be a misconception. Although everybody's not going to trade the same way. There are some people that trade it the same, anywhere they see, they trade it from there and it still works for them, and that is totally fine. So the people I'm actually making these videos for are people that are still confused on which support and which resistance to take. So whenever you see support and resistance everywhere, there is 2 in one place, there's 3 in one place, just save yourself the stress. Go to a higher time frame and see the origin of all of that clustered levels. Like this level now, if we go to the 4-hour, here, let's see. If we go to the 4-hour, now you can see this here. There is this. This is also a turning point of price, because from here we went down. There's also this. There's this. So just to make the point clear, what you just have to do is, when especially, we can take this one out and this one also. So let's assume this is where you are. So if you are here, for example, on the 4-hour, and you're seeing this, this market there's bearish pressure here, we are going down from here and stuff like that. Yes, it works sometimes, and people have always found their way around it. But on a broader scale, if we are here and market starts dropping, I think the best thing to do is to wait, because there is a level above here that it might want to get to. Then the push downward comes. So that's basically it. If what you have is working for you already, you don't have to, in fact, you don't have to take this concept if what you have is working. But if you are still confused on which support or which resistance to take, I believe this is going to help you, and it's going to bring clarity for you to pick your levels, your support and resistance, and make it a bit more easier for you. So that's basically it for this video, guys. I don't want to make it too long. I believe it's already too long. So I'll see you next time. Have a very wonderful weekend.